Yo, it's Marlon Speaks Live. Yeah, I'm saying what they hide. History uncensored, let the real survive. Yeah, it's truth over comfort, I don't pick no side. If it shake the room a little, let the truth collide. Cause it's Marlon Speaks Live. No script, no disguise. I don't sell no lies, just to monetize. Cause the past still breathing and it never dies. Yeah, it's Marlon Speaks Live. Now the truth will rise. Yo, it's Marlon Speaks Live. Yeah, I'm saying what they hide. History uncensored, let the real survive. Welcome back, another episode of Marlon Speaks Live. So today it's another special one. Every episode is special. And if this your first time tapping in with my content, please like, comment, share, subscribe. I got a goal. I'm trying to get 1,000 subscribers in a month. I'm off my day job until January 23rd, and I'm trying to get my channel monetized. So if you would be so kind as to like, comment, and interact, and if you really messing with this channel, subscribe to it. Like I said, I'm trying to get up to 1,000, at least 1,000, and get my channel monetized. I'm trying to create me a whole new different revenue stream and possibly phase out of this factory work that I've been doing for 20 years. So, but yeah, this video is my home girl, my sister, Tabitha Speaks Politics. If y'all haven't heard the Tabitha, I got the link to this video in the description right there. Y'all go down there and check her out directly, and do yourself a favor. If you like getting valuable information, and if you like being, just enlightened with perspective, with some very valuable perspective, go over there to Tabitha Speaks Politics and subscribe to her channel. Interact with her. She's got a great following, and I've been watching her for years. And she was a little under the weather recently, so she wasn't posting the last week. And she just came back with a new one a few hours ago. So I wanted to share this with you guys, and so we can watch it together, and get some insight. She always give very valuable insight. And so let's get into it. She going into these Somalians. She gonna break down what's going on with the Somalis. And this, like, I watched a little bit of this video, just enough to know that I wanted to share it with you guys. So check it out with me.
Baby, it does not always work out for you when you side with the enemy. Hey everybody, I am back, not fully, but I am back. I am still handling things behind the scenes. I got a lot going on, but I found a moment to talk about this. The MAGA nuts, white folks out there in Minnesota, they are giving the Somalis hell. Baby, the white folks is all up in their business from the rooter to the tutor. And I am just sitting off on the sidelines. Woke Gardner was talking about it this morning. And I told her, I'm going to just sit right here and sip my tea and handle and mind my own business. But baby, there's so much going on. I had to come in and speak on it. Now, we're not going deep down into the scam that the Somalis is doing out there in Minnesota, which I am now finding out has branched out there into Ohio, and a lot of other people from other cities are recognizing the scam and are like, hey, we got that going on here. So we're not going to get too deep into what the scam is. The basis of the scam is that Somali immigrants that get into this country have been creating daycare businesses, healthcare businesses, and some other type of business. And these businesses are shell companies. And they are using these businesses to get money from the state and federal government when it comes to daycare fees, taking care of children, feeding children, when it comes to providing certain healthcare services, autism services, those types of things. They have been scamming the state and federal governments to the tune of, they are estimating $9 billion. There is this content creator, he is on YouTube and he's over on TikTok by the name of Nick Shirley. Now, I hear that he is a MAGA nut, but like the woke gardener said, the facts are the facts, baby. And this man and some man that is with him is looking up these businesses that are claiming these federal and state dollars and going around to these businesses in Minnesota and can clearly see that these businesses are fraudulent. And then he's reading off how much this particular business has been able to get from federal and state dollars, millions upon millions of dollars, y'all. We got a couple of clips to look at. Let's check this one out.
Here in Minnesota, massive fraud is taking place within the government and the Somali population. Here, this building alone, Quality Learning Center, is a daycare, yet they spelled learning wrong and they said leering. This daycare alone in 2025 has received $1.9 million from the government. And the strange things about these childcare centers is there's no one here right now. It's midday on a weekday. And if you were to try to go inside, it's completely closed and the windows are all blacked out. No one's working, midday. Children should be in here, and this place is licensed for 99 children, and this is the outside. There's no windows, no nothing. And like I said, they literally spelt the word wrong on their sign. This is open and blatant fraud taking place here inside of Minnesota. The government is complicit with this, and this is just one of the hundreds of child daycare centers here inside of Minneapolis being ran by the Somali population. It's sad that it's happening here in Minnesota, and it stinks that it's happening and it's being labeled on the Somali population. However, that's just the facts of what's happening here inside of Minnesota. $1.9 million for this daycare center that can't even spell learning.
Now, he is saying that the government is complicit. I won't say that the government is complicit. We do know that a couple of years ago, there was a huge investigation where there was a Somali man and a white woman that was arrested. There were plenty of other people that were investigated and arrested. To me, this just seems like there's need to be more investigation and more arrests made. I won't say that the government is complicit in this. Now, I've been scrolling over there on TikTok, and some of the members of the Somali community have been scrolling up on my For You page, and they've been trying to defend this nonsense, trying to explain it away, trying to justify it's not what it seems, and don't blame all Somalis and this and that. I get that, don't blame all Somalis, but yeah, they do the same thing to black Americans. If a black man robs a corner store, we're all criminals and thieves.
Yep.
Okay? We're all criminals and thieves, right? And so this is just the way that cookie crumbles, right? And I just don't see leaders of the Somali community coming out to address this situation. There is rampant fraud running throughout their community. Why aren't they speaking publicly on this situation? You can't ignore what is going on. It is too blatant. It is too much in your face. You got people over on TikTok that is now digging in to these peoples and these centers. You got people on X, Twitter, that's digging into this. And all of this is content for them. So they are going to expose it. What do you think Nick Shirley is doing? This is content for him.
Exactly.
Right? And this is another situation that they are going to use to attack Democrats with out there in Minnesota. Listen,
yeah,
he's got
right.
more clips. Let's watch a couple of them.
We're in the middle of a strip mall here inside of this neighborhood.
In fiscal year 2025, this facility, which has its license for 74 kids, was paid $1.26 million in tax money, and there are no kids, and all the facilities are the same way, all of them.
Let's see if anyone opens.
Wow.
Yeah, let's see.
Once again, I try to find a spot for my son Joey, and they would not open the door. I want to put my son Joey in daycare. Cuz I need a spot to put my son Joey.
Yes.
Is this your daycare center?
No, I work there. What's happened?
I just want to put a child in daycare, but all the daycare centers seem to be closed. No one's opening the doors.
You work here?
I was, yeah. What's happened?
Where are the kids?
Yeah?
It says it's licensed for 74 children. Right here, state of Minnesota. Where are the kids? They
Yeah.
got paid $1.26 million in fiscal year 2025. It says they have a capacity for 74 children.
When? No, when?
Where are the kids? Right here. State of Minnesota website. You work here and you don't know?
I don't know. I was there before. I don't know what's going on.
Were there any kids when you worked here?
He's there. Kids there. What's
How
happened?
many?
I don't know.
You don't know.
Yeah.
You worked here. Okay, well then you're not of any help.
Can I put my son in a daycare?
And they have the nerve to vote for Trump. You know, it's making sense now. Like, they voted for Trump to try to go under the radar. You know, it seemed to me like, yeah, man, these Africans, they come over here, they talk bad about us slave Americans, us descendants of slaves, foundational black Americans, who are the majority of us are honestly going about our day. You know, we're not necessarily known for a widespread scam in our community, right? And so here you have another example of other melanated people, other black people coming to this country, trying to step on the foundation that we set for all the colored people, anybody with melanin, come over here and look at what they doing. Look at what they known to do. And they have the nerve. But it makes sense that they would vote for someone, a tyrant like Trump, to try to stay under the radar so they can keep this scam going. Yeah, man. It's all making sense. But let's let Big Sis, let's let my sister break it down.
Here?
No, I don't know.
Can I speak to someone?
No, I don't know.
No? Yeah, I would like to see if I can put my son Joey here.
Who's your son, Joey?
My son Joey. Can I check out daycare center?
No.
Do you put your kid here in this daycare?
No.
There is one child in there. Yeah, I'd like to know if this is a legit business.
Me, I'm scared of you too. How come I explain everything?
You're scared of me?
Yeah.
Why?
Because of your curry.
Because of my color. You said you're scared of me because of my color. Does that make you a racist?
Yeah, no.
But
no.
you said you're scared of me because of my color.
I'm not saying you're racist.
You said you're scared of me because of my color. That makes you a racist. So right now,
This is my
they're all
tax
getting
money.
mad because he's showing the paperwork
don't
of
know
this
that.
business being registered as a business. 74 children,
I've
no
lived my
children.
whole life
We
here.
saw one child when the lady opened up the door.
So
But now
where did
they're
this
all getting
money
mad.
go? What was this money spent on?
Yeah, I'm familiar with Nick Shirley. He went to Dearborn. I covered a video where he went to Dearborn. And yeah, he tries to come off like he's just there for the truth, which that is the truth, right? But like what Tabitha said, he a MAGA nut. So, you know, we know it's always an ulterior motive, you know what I'm saying, to people like Nick Shirley. But this is interesting.
1.26 million. What was that money spent
ask the
on?
owner.
There aren't any kids.
Ask the owner and the kids.
Well, then why are you talking
That's
for
not
the
my
owner
proof.
if you're
That's
telling me
not
to
my
talk to
proof.
the owner?
I'm sorry. I'm not understand what you're talking about.
Do you have a child here?
No.
Does anybody? Where are the 74 kids? Did you lose them? Did you lose these kids? Do I need to call someone? Do I need to issue an Amber Alert for missing children? Are these children missing? It's not my business that children are missing. 74 infants and toddlers.
So to be fair, a daycare that has the capacity for a certain number of kids, they're not going to always have them amount of kids in there. You know, like, you know, the business be up and down. It might be seasonal. You know, they might not need a lot of kids right now. The workers might be laid off. You know, they might not have a job. So they might don't have the kids in daycare, you know. So that's just being fair, you know. So for them to go just randomly go to a daycare and expect it to be full to capacity at that exact time, you know, it might not be full. It might not, you know, the parents might not need daycare at that time. So that's valid. But yeah, let's continue on.
Preschool.
The proof's right there. There's no children anywhere.
It's from the state of Minnesota right here.
Now, I came across one Somali's video where he was saying that it's the Christmas holiday, so kids aren't in school. But I think it was the Woke Gardener, or I've seen so many videos today. I think it was the Woke Gardener who said it's a daycare, and parents, they don't get the Christmas holiday off. They still have to go to work. And so daycares are typically open with kids. But I want you to notice, out of all of the clips that we see today, nothing, not one of those buildings looks like a valid daycare center. You see no playground equipment. You don't see anything that will let you know that this is an active and valid daycare center with children. Here's another clip.
We have 2 child daycare centers. We have the Minnesota Child Care Center, and then we also have Nuna. Between the two, 2.66 million. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Why are you recording?
Yes. We would like to know.
Well, it says we're trying to figure out 102 children. Is that for this facility?
What is the name? Why is it?
It's from the state of Minnesota website. It says you have 102 children here in your child care.
Which child care name is a lot of
Minnesota Child Care right here. It's from the state of Minnesota's website. We're just wondering where the children are.
where the children are.
Yeah, where are the children? It says you have 102 children here, and you got $2.66 million this year in funding, and $2.5 million last year. We're just wondering where the kids are.
And who are you?
My name's Nick Shirley.
Nick Shirley.
And where you? Which department?
Oh, we are from ourselves.
Yeah.
Hello, we'd like to ask where the money's going. Look at that. Shut us down. Where are the children at? No children inside of this daycare center. And look, at this daycare center right here, no children inside of this daycare center. But between those buildings, over $2.6 million. We were just curious, where are the children at? Here's another daycare center inside of the same building.
We don't want you to be videotaping anything.
Where is all the money going for if there's no children at these daycare centers?
Sir,
Yes.
I told you, please leave.
Yes, we have a question though. Where is the children at these daycare centers if there's millions of dollars?
Ask with the local government, yeah.
We have the paper right here. Come here.
Who are you, first of all?
My name's Nick Shirley.
You don't have any permission to record me, period.
Can we talk outside?
You don't have permission to record.
She doesn't either have.
You
She
do
doesn't
not
have permission to record
no,
me.
you cannot stop people on the street and question them.
We can ask.
You don't have any permission.
Where
I'll
are the
sue
children?
You. I will sue you. You don't have any permission. We have nothing to do with this. You
Okay.
understand?
Then are there
So
children?
leave. Please leave.
Are there children here?
Please leave.
Where are the children? $2.6 million for a daycare center. We just want to know where are the children.
Who you work for?
My name's Nick Shirley.
Who you work for?
I work for myself, Nick Shirley.
Okay, what are you recording?
We're wondering where are the children? $2.66 million for
You're not talking to
the
the
Minnesota
right person.
Child Care Center.
You're not talking to the right person.
Are there children that come here?
They probably been doing this for a long time. And I'm sure they didn't account for Nick Shirley, you know, YouTubers. This is the day of reckoning, man. These cameras, oh my Lord, this is, man, that's why I don't pay to do no crime no more. Zero crime. You will at least be interrogated by a YouTuber. Ah, man, this is classic. I'm so glad I clicked on this video.
Answer the question. Are there children? There's no children inside this building.
I don't know who you're talking to. Leave.
That's just a simple question. Where are the children at?
And right now in Polymarket, there's only a 4% chance that Tim Walz is charged by March 31st. It's time to hold our politicians accountable, especially when there's blatant fraud.
I told you, he was a Republican MAGA nut. They want Tim Walz, governor of Minnesota, to be charged and sent to jail for the fraud that the Somalis are doing. But the facts are the facts. Y'all getting all of this money from the state and the federal government. You are ripping off the citizens of this country, of that state. Where are the children? There's more.
Right here, you have a list of all of the healthcare companies. Loads of them right here. We want healthcare.
No, it's okay.
Yes, we'd like to speak about getting healthcare here.
No.
Why can't I get healthcare here?
No, wait.
Warning, you are under video surveillance. No trespassing, security, armed. This is the strangest place I've ever been to get healthcare. Just a bunch of different places. Healthcare here, healthcare right here. Another healthcare company right here. There are
All of these companies are shell
this building right
companies.
here in this room of 7C. Now we have another Helping Hands, Home Care LLC, another healthcare company. Present Help right here. We're looking for the best rates of healthcare here inside this building because we have so many options. Who can we talk to about getting the best healthcare?
I don't know.
No?
Sorry.
All right. We will not get any healthcare here. David, this is one of the stranger places I've ever been. Literally, healthcare every door you go to, yet nobody will give you a rate. How much money do you think's been funneled through this building?
Every year, I would say 50 to 60 million at least.
And finally, we were accepted into one of the daycare centers, and they actually took down our information to give us a rate. However, when we left, we were then met with the police.
We received a complaint that someone matching your description were in this building harassing the individuals who stay here.
Oh, we're checking out the rates for healthcare. Because there's 14 healthcare companies inside this building, so.
Okay.
Well, that's not what he said. He said there's 14 companies here, and he's trying to assume because they're Somali providers that everyone here is fraudulent.
Okay.
So we're,
He's here with some kind of like propaganda.
no, we're just checking.
No, this is a area that we're allowed to enforce trespassing ordinance. Is there any other reason that you guys are here?
Well, we were checking rates.
No, he's not.
We were checking rates. We asked for rates.
No, you're not.
Okay. I'm gonna have, if you guys are all good, we're gonna step outside and we can continue this conversation.
All right, let's leave. So, all right, we're getting escorted out right now. The police have arrived. We were checking out the rates, seeing what was happening inside this building. No one would really speak with us. We did go inside the one daycare center, and she actually did give us rates for childcare. Much respect to that lady. What's the problem, officer?
Well, so again, we've been getting reports from multiple individuals that you guys were harassing individuals who work here. At the end of the day, this is private property, and it's one that people are allowed to ask you to leave, and it's also one the Minneapolis Police Department is allowed to enforce trespassing ordinance at this address.
Now, like I said, there are people all across the internet that are digging into these daycare centers, these home health centers, and they're doing their own investigations and connecting dots and looking into how much money that they have received and calling these centers and all of this stuff. I came across this video over on TikTok. Check it out.
Meet Ayan Abukar. In 2021, she won the Outstanding Refugee Entrepreneurship Award from the Minnesota Department of Human Services. And in just a few years, her nonprofits generated over $5.7 million in revenue. How amazing. Today, she's a convicted felon who helped steal millions meant to feed hungry children. And her story perfectly illustrates Minnesota's fraud epidemic. So sit back and enjoy the unbelievable story of Ayan Abukar. When COVID hit and government money started flowing from a fire hose, Ayan saw an opportunity. She signed up her nonprofit for Feeding Our Future, which we all now know for their $250 million fraud scheme. And from October 2020 to early 2022, she claimed that her sites in Bloomington, Minneapolis, Savage, St. Paul were feeding 5,000 or more kids daily. In reality, no sites actually existed, and the kids didn't exist either. Prosecutors say that she alone pocketed $5.7 million. Quite the entrepreneur, I would say. What did she do with the money? Well, she bought a 37-acre commercial property in Lakeville. She purchased a jet in Nairobi, Kenya, and she sent hundreds of thousands of dollars back overseas to who knows who. And to keep all this scam running smoothly, she gave $330,000 to a Feeding Our Future employee to make sure that her invoices sailed through. But it gets worse. Her fraudulent company, Dime Speak Enterprise, shared the same address as a childcare center run by her daughter, and one that recently had its license revoked for, you guessed it, fraud. In January 2025, Ayan Abukar stood in federal court and pled guilty to conspiracy to commit wire fraud. Sentencing is still pending, but thankfully she faces years in prison. But this is not just one bad apple. Many of the defendants in Feeding Our Future have connections to fraudulent autism centers, just another fraud thing in Minnesota. We have seen massive fraud across our state in child care assistance, food for children, autism centers, and homelessness programs even. It's systemic, and frankly, it's embarrassing. And if this makes you angry, I mean, it makes me laugh sometimes, but man, it makes me angry. Well, it should. Share this video.
I can't stand a thief, boy, especially one that's, you know, portraying to be helping people. Like all of that COVID scam stuff that I seen, and the widespread fraud, man, that anybody that I knew at that time, which I knew a lot of people personally that participated in that, I told them, you setting yourself up. That's not realistic, bro. Like, you cannot expect to scam your way. You can't make that a lifestyle. It's not sustainable. So, man, boy, but this right here, this is like on another level, and it's like international because they sending money overseas. So I really get it now. I knew something was up with them people, but I didn't understand what or why they wanted to vote for Trump until now. Now I get it. They wanted to remain, you know, under the radar and get, you know, to endorse this president so they could stay, you know, under the radar. Just like I'm sure they would endorse a Democratic president as well to stay under the radar. Yeah, they weird.
Because we need people to know so we can get real answers. We need to make it impossible to block real reform, as has been done repeatedly in the past. Because if we do not fix this system, the next refugee of the year is going to get an even bigger check paid for by you, the tax.
His name is Representative Nolan West. He's a Republican. So,
yeah,
is he driven by trying to get real reform?
Not at all.
Or is he driven by
an ulterior motive,
hatred and racism?
Yeah.
Anywho, as I'm watching all of these videos coming across my timeline, I saw one video that listed each and every Somali politician that either holds office or was a candidate. There is no way that Ilhan Omar, House Representative for Missouri District 5, I believe, does not know what is going on. There is no way that she cannot know what is going on.
Right, yeah, she a part of
And
it.
unfortunately, being that I believe she knows what's going on, my next question, are you involved?
Right.
And then I came across this video.
Minnesota's 5th Congressional District. And we called together this press conference in the wake of yesterday's article in the Minnesota Reformer about my opponent, Representative Omar. She paid her husband, Tim Minette, $3 million of campaign money. And the way her time in office has given his business access and credibility, as they've misappropriated more than $1 million in money from South Dakota investors. They left workers unpaid and found the funds frozen by the Office of Foreign Assets Control, the U.S. Treasury Department in charge of enforcing sanctions. Unfortunately, this story is just the latest scandal in a string of new stories about Representative Omar that narrow the focus on her and bring us further from the type of progress our district and our country needs around issues that affect the lives of our neighbors. Representative Omar has used her 3 terms in Congress, what many would consider the opportunity and honor of a lifetime, to divide our community and enrich herself in the process. Minnesota Reformer reporter Max Nestorak's article mentions at least 3 of the businesses that Tim Minette and his partner Will Haler started. The first was their political consultancy, which received an unprecedented sum of money from Representative Omar's 2020 race, where she raked in millions of small dollar contributions from across the country during the election cycle. $3 million was spent with E Street, and a large portion of that money went directly back into her own household. After that, Tim Minette and his business partner, Will Haler, started a winery, a decision made when one of their marketing clients apparently offered them grapes in lieu of money. The winery left its workers unpaid and is currently being sued for breach of contract, a bizarre arrangement where they agreed to return an investment of $300,000 with a return of $900,000 just 18 months later.
His name is Don Samuels, and he's running against Ilhan Omar for the House Representative District 5 seat. Minnesota, here's an alternative. Do your homework. I don't know much about him. So, Don Samuels answered my question. Does Ilhan Omar know what's going on? In my opinion, she absolutely knows what's going on. And it seems like, according to Don Samuels, that she's got her own fraud scamming situation going on. Listen, if you want to watch his videos in their entirety, go on over to Nick Shirley's YouTube page. He's a Republican MAGA nut. Yeah. But the facts are the facts. If he's knocking on the door wanting to enroll his child into daycare, and there's no children, there's no active daycare, there isn't any playground equipment anywhere on the premises, something ain't right.
Exactly.
He's going into these buildings that's housing all of these different health insurance offices, healthcare offices, daycare centers where there's no children. You can't offer him any information on getting health insurance. You can't provide him with any information on home health care. He can't enroll little Joey into the daycare center that you claim you're running. It's obvious that something is not right.
Exactly.
And unfortunately, the way that the Somali community is handling it out there on social media, they ain't doing themselves no favors. You know why they don't know how to handle this situation? Because they don't know this racist system like Black Americans know it.
Mm-hmm.
And just to make sure that we are all on the same page, white people and POCs outside of the Somali community, they know Black. They'll tell you quickly they are not Black. So don't bunch into together Black Americans with what is going on in the Somali community.
Exactly.
Don't confuse us with them.
Please don't.
Kendrick Lamar ain't never lied when he said they not like us, because there is no group of people out there that are like Black Americans.
None.
Has any of their leaders come out to address this situation?
Nope.
Because one or two situations may be a coincidence.
Right.
This is rampant.
Right.
Minnesota, like I said, there are people over there digging into the Somali community out there in Ohio. And there's other little pockets of people doing their own investigations. If they have like a Somali community within their state, they're doing their, baby, this is a mess.
Man.
On that note, thank y'all for praying for me. Please keep the prayers coming.
Yes.
Big changes is happening to my life
sis.
real soon. Changes that I cannot avoid. God has been speaking to me for months. God has been telling me what I need to do for months. And because I'm comfortable where I am, I have been ignoring him. And on Christmas morning, something happened where I could no longer avoid what God has been telling me to do. So big changes are coming. And they're coming fast. So keep me in your prayers. Thank you for your prayers.
Will do.
And I'll see y'all in the next one.
Okay, sis. Yeah, man. I'm going to pray for her right now. Yep. Had to pray for my sister, man. She had been missing in action for a minute, but she back. And yeah, you know, we all go through things, and I know I go through them. And if you normal, living in this country or living anywhere in the world, we go through things. And so she no different. You know, as successful as she is, I'm sure she probably going through more than she was before she gained this success. You know, and that's how success works. So yeah, we got to keep our successful people, you know, wherever they at, you know, with their success. We got to keep them in our prayers, man. It's a lot of pressure that you can bring on yourself, and you know, just got to stay grounded. And that's the main thing, man, when you're successful or when you're not successful. Shoot, it don't matter where you at in life. You got to stay prayed up. And we all need prayer from other people, from strangers, you know. So that's why I pray for Tabitha. But yeah, look here, man. That whole video, I learned so much from that because I didn't know exactly what was going on in that community. I heard, like, you know, when Trump was talking about them, and you know how he was saying like they just the nastiest people, and now we can kind of see where he was coming from, because I was confused. You know, that community had lent their endorsement to him overall. It seemed like they was Team MAGA, right? As we saw, like, if y'all see one of my previous videos, I went into it and basically shared what Tabitha shared, how they are not like us. They are not like us at all. No other people of color, that's what POC mean, is like us. We are one of one. It's no other group in the world that's like us. So I don't care how much melanin they got. I don't care how black they are on the surface. We're one of one. We're unique. And it's just like I said in the previous video. I believe we are unique. And this is just my opinion. I believe we are unique because we have all of the African people and European blood and Native American blood. We have every race within our bloodline overall. It might not be in every one of us, but you will have some, black slave American, that's what I call us, descendants of slaves. You will have a nice percentage of us that have a lot of different ethnic groups in us, but identify as black. So I believe we're unique in that sense across the whole world, that we still identify as this culture of people. And I'm sure you have a lot of that in Africa. You have a lot of that everywhere. A lot of different people with a lot of different ethnic groups, but identify as whatever they identify as. But we're unique in the sense of, how this America has been essentially trying to erase us for centuries, right? And so that's why we're so unique in that sense. And I think that's why we have that distinction of just being able to manufacture culture whenever we want to. We can just come up with things on the fly. We're not stuck and bound by a certain time frame. We don't want to go back like MAGA. We don't want to go back. We want to keep moving forward. And so that's what I believe we're special, or why we're special. And please don't mix us up with the Somalis. And at this point, I'm sure, any other group of people of color is thinking like, yeah, we need to basically study the ones who were here. We understand this white supremacist culture. Y'all need to get up under us, up under the. I don't care what type of foundational Black American you get up under. I don't care if it's the hood version of us or the middle ground, which I pretty much represent. I could communicate with the hood all the way to the highly educated. I'm right in between. I have a college degree. And any one of us, like, they need to study and learn actually every variation of foundational Black Americans to get a hold on, y'all. To get a well-rounded perspective of us. So, I'm getting a little feedback. So yeah, man, like what that's what we have to do. We have to, get them to understand, like any person of color. We got to get them to understand, look, man, y'all got to get behind our agenda. And if not, go back. Get out of here. But please don't come over here commit no dang on high-level fraud on an international level. And then you got this melanin, and then, you pretty much trying to blend in with us after you committing the fraud. So yeah, man, look, I'm so glad I shared a lot of what Tabitha, or that whole video with Tabitha, and let her, give her whole deep dive into it and sharing those content creators' content, so we could get everybody can get a real good understanding. Everybody on my channel can get a real good understanding. And look, share this content. Get this content out there to spread the information on what's going on with the Somalian community here. I'm not trying to, I know all Somalians are not into that. I know for a fact, because here in my community in Flint, Michigan, we have a lot of them that they're in the healthcare, and they are doctors. They are good doctors. They are reputable doctors, real doctors, and a lot of them do great work and been doing it for years, for many years. So I know that the fraudsters in the Somalian community are not the majority of the Somalian community. But when you're talking about billions of dollars of fraud, that's widespread, you know. So yeah, y'all just get in the comments, share your perspective, share your experience with Somalians if you have them in your community, because I know they don't all commit crime, you know, and share, you know, just share your perspective on this topic. And comment, share, subscribe, all of those good things. And like I said, I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers in the next month by January 23rd. I'm trying to make sure this channel is monetized before I go back to my day job. So if you could please help me out and give me a subscribe, you messing with this, please subscribe to me and watch it. And I appreciate you. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you. All right, to the next one. Bye-bye.
Yo, it's Marlon Speaks Live. Yeah, I'm saying what they hide. History, innocence, to let the real survive. Yeah, it's truth over comfort. I don't pick no side. If it shake the room a little, let the truth collide. Cause it's Marlon Speaks Live. No script, no disguise. I don't sell no lies. Just to monetize. Cause the past still breathing and it never dies. Yeah, it's Marlon Speaks Live. Now the truth will rise. Yo, it's Marlon Speaks Live. Yeah, I'm saying what they hide. History, innocence, to let the real survive.